Right now at 6, World Cup celebrations in Portland's living room.
Well, it's way better to watch in community than alone in your house, right? Cheer together, celebrate together, that's the fun of it.
We're live downtown with the Americans taking the pitch and the party just getting started.
Plus, Moda under the microscope as leaders try to make a case to invest or withhold millions. We raise questions about the real economic impact of Oregon's aging arena.
Making, $20 million a year and you're a Portland Trailblazer. Maybe you live here, maybe you don't.
And later, the e-scooter trip that went dramatically wrong.
My doctors and nurses told me how lucky I am.
As a Portland State student warns others to think before they ride.
Good evening, everyone. We want to get right to breaking news in rural Washington County, where one person has died in a small plane crash near the Twin Oaks Air Park. This is a live look at that scene. Officials saying the two-seater had just taken off and the sole person on board, presumably the pilot, did not survive.
If you're not familiar with the area, here's a better idea of where that Twin Oaks runway is located. It's just west of the roundabout that connects Southwest Shoals Ferry and River Roads and south of Farmington Road. We spoke with Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue about the situation. Take a listen.
This air park has a good safety record. We don't have very many incidents that are out here. This appears to be an isolated incident related to this particular aircraft and not this air park.
Okay, taking you back out live, first responders say flights in and out of the air park will not be continuing this evening, and it's not clear when they will resume.
We also understand the NTSB is on site. Updates as they come in, or of course, anytime at KGW.com. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. Weather is a big headline tonight with a heat wave on the way, and we are also covering some really major sports news too.
Going to be a busy weekend. We have live team coverage from a World Cup watch party in Portland's living room to new questions on the economic impact of Moda and whether it's worth investing in.
But first to Joe Ranieri with near triple digits on the way and that weather impact alert. Joe, slowly getting warmer out there.
Exactly right. Now that threat for triple digit heat won't arrive until Sunday and into Monday as well. There's a chance we're looking at highs close to 100 both Sunday afternoon and into Monday as well. I want to go out to the northern Oregon coast. This is a live look from our Visit Seaside camera. Very comfortable right now with temperatures in the low 60s, but even along the northern part of the Oregon coast and up and down Highway 101, there's going to be a advisory because of the heat over the next few days. Daytime highs today topped out in the upper 70s, low 80s. Very pleasant out there on this Friday, and then along the coast, you saw temperatures close to 70 degrees. The watches and warnings look like this. Heat advisory will be taking effect Sunday morning until late Tuesday night. That's that orange color, basically up and down the I-5 corridor, all the way into parts of the Seattle area. Meanwhile, the extreme heat warning will be this red color throughout the metro area. Again, Sunday morning until late Tuesday night, with temperatures soaring into the upper 90s to close to 100 degrees. Now, we are issuing a weather impact alert for both Sunday and into Monday. Highs for your Saturday will be right around the upper 80s to low 90s, potentially the warmest day of the year. Sunday and Monday will make the warmest days of the year. We're also going to be looking at the threat of a high fire threat because of the low relative humidity and that strong east wind. That's going to be the influence of our warm temperatures, is that east wind and that ridge of high pressure. So extreme weather for Sunday and Monday with warm temperatures. Again, we can't say this enough, you guys. Make sure you stay hydrated over the next couple of days. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast in just a few minutes.
Exactly, and temperatures really going up this weekend. Thank you, Joe. And speaking of going up, the excitement skyrocketing locally at Pioneer Courthouse Square. Gosh, look at the crowd out there. All of them gathered to watch the U.S. men's soccer team begin their quest for the glory in the World Cup, taking on Paraguay.
That game underway. Kyle Boshi's live on the bricks. The noise level going up too. Kyle, feeling the vibes. It's nice to have something to celebrate, right?
Yeah, they call this Pioneer Courthouse Square Portland's living room, and that certainly is a fitting description this evening. You look around, you can see all the people. They've got a big screen set up, obviously very loud here, and all kinds of seating for friends and neighbors to gather here, help cheer on Team USA in their opener for the World Cup.
Portland is a soccer city.
It's a beautiful thing to witness.
Soccer is big, and everywhere is big. Portland actually has a big fan base I mean, Timbers. Think about it. That Timbers Army.
And for World Cup, some of the best seats are right in the heart of downtown.
There's a lot of teams that I really want to watch, and it's just really exciting.
Hundreds of fans gathered at Pioneer Courthouse Square to catch a match on the big screen. There's a mini soccer field, food and drinks.
Well, it's way better to watch in community than alone in your house, right? So you get to meet people, talk to people, and cheer together, celebrate together. That's the fun of it.
I don't know. It's a good reason to talk to other people and, like, I don't know, just make some friends.
For many fans, World Cup is bigger than sport. Soccer unites people beyond borders.
It's the world's game, you know, it's played in almost every country.
Although Portland isn't hosting a match, it is hosting a World Cup team. Jordan's national team arrived in town on Thursday and will practice in Portland before heading to its first ever World Cup match in Santa Clara next week.
Soccer brings people together. It's a whole community.
In Portland, fans aren't just rooting for the U.S.
Go Brazil! Go Canada! Go Germany!
Vamos Mexico!
This is bigger than one country. It's the World Cup.
This free soccer celebration at Pioneer Courthouse Square continues on until Monday, but it's certainly not the only World Cup watch party. There are all kinds of events going on at bars and restaurants all over town. We've got a complete listing on our website, kgw.com.
Kyle Leboshi on the bricks, looking good, loving the vibe. Thanks, Kyle. From the bricks to the Rose Quarter now, one of the hottest topics in Portland right now. Should the city spend hundreds of millions of dollars on upgrades to Oregon's aging arena? And just as importantly, where should the money come from?
Yeah, two big questions there. We've heard a lot about the economic impact the Blazers and Rose Quarter bring to the city, but how exactly is that number calculated?
Good question. Investigative reporter Evan Watson digs in.
Portland leaders say the Moda Center generates $600 million each year in regional economic impact. Now, that is a staggering number, but how did they get to that figure? We looked to a city commission study for the answers. The Trailblazers are tied to Portland's community and spirit.
I don't want to live in a Portland that doesn't have the Portland Trailblazers.
And some city councilors are ready to pay up for a big renovation of the city-owned Moda Center.
I mean, we've had enough talking. We're past the budget. We need to act now. I'm very supportive of using city dollars to do that.
One big talking point, the Moda Center's reported $600+ million of annual economic impact. It comes from a consulting group's 2023 review after the city of Portland commissioned a study. But what is economic activity? Some Blazers fans.
I'm so excited for my son, my 6-year-old, to inherit that tradition and to become the Blazers fan that I am.
Think it's inflated. Jonathan Pulvers is part of a grassroots group of fans arguing for private investment in any arena deal, wanting Portland to get financial returns on investment for other city needs.
And making sure that it brings value back to Portlanders.
A large chunk of the economic impact study boils down to direct spending on salaries. Factoring in a multiplier effect, close to half of the $600 million figure represents just the salaries that the Blazers pay their 15 players. Pulvers argues that's not what people assume economic impact means.
Making, $20 million a year and you're a Portland Trailblazer, maybe you live here, maybe you don't, but the idea that you spend that entire salary here, I think we can all tell why that idea is probably doesn't survive scrutiny.
The study says the Rose Quarter generates about $18 million in state and local tax revenues each year. Some of that money already goes right back to fund arena improvements. As the city debates the Moda Center's future, Pulvers wants Portland leaders to negotiate things like rent payments and naming rights revenue from Tom Dundon and the Blazers' new ownership group.
Well, Tom Dundon, to his credit, has come out and said that he's going to do a market rate deal and that he is open to paying for some of the tenant improvements that the Blazers want. That's the kind of thing we're looking for.
The City of Portland website outlines Mayor Wilson's support for a publicly funded Moda Center renovation. Among the points, the website says that the city should take advantage of state funding right now, that an upgrade would help the Moda Center draw concerts and big acts here to Portland, and that ultimately a Moda Center renovation would do a lot for this surrounding area. Evan Watson, KGW News.
A lot of discussion to be had. Also, don't forget, tomorrow and Sunday, if you've got an opinion on the Moda funding issue, the city is holding a series of pop-up sessions at Portland parks where you can tell city councilors exactly what you think. We have a link with the locations and times for each of those sessions on our website, kgw.com.
Hope they're handing out water or something too. In your headlines, raging flames and billowing smoke to these dramatic images that caught our attention this morning after a driver hit a power pole in Vancouver. Wow, they shut down Highway 99 near Hazel Dell. Authorities say the driver was the only person in the vehicle and was taken to the hospital. They are expected to survive. No word on the cause, but investigators do not think impairment was a factor.
And a heads up, the video in this next story may be disturbing for some of you. It shows the moments before a Vancouver police officer shot and injured a man during an alleged burglary last month. Take a look.
Drop that knife. Hey.
Vancouver police edited the video at certain parts to pause and highlight what they say is the suspect running in the direction of a neighbor with a knife. Then an officer fires multiple times and the man falls over. A woman had called 911 saying she heard someone breaking windows and that she thought it was her former partner who allegedly tried to break in a few days earlier. He's now in the hospital. Washington State Police are investigating as well. The officer who shot the suspect has been placed on critical incident leave. And to Battleground now, where there's an update on a homicide investigation. Clark County Sheriff's Office says the person they arrested is the adopted son of the victims. Police say Stephen Williams stabbed his adopted parents last Friday at a home west of State Route 503 near Northeast 117th Avenue and 244th Street. 65-year-old Ray Williams was pronounced dead at the scene. At last check, the other victim, a woman, was in the hospital with serious injuries.
And a heads up from Portland Fire, a burn ban is coming on Monday. That's when campfires, fire pits, agricultural burning, and any open burns, even with permits, are banned until further notice. Grills and smokers are fine. Just make sure to get rid of those ashes. Also, the Oregon Department of Forestry will enact a burn ban on state forest land on Monday.